Welcome back to my channel, Mini Days. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to show you how I've made a basket using this hula hoop and these t-shirts. Now this hula hoop is just 20-inch diameter, so it's just quite a small hula hoop because this is a little bit of an experimental project. I've not done anything like this before and I'm hoping to do maybe a big rug in the future, so I just thought this was a really good way on just trying it out. So first of all, I took some string and I've just tied it across the center of the hula hoop and then directly across the other way. Then I just kept tying on bits of string until I felt like I had enough kind of spokes, if you like. Just make sure these are on quite tight. So there you go, looks a little bit like a wheel. Next, to add the fabric. So I just started off with this lemon material. It's quite stretchy, so I just cut off a nice square section, folded it over just to make this cutting a little bit easier. Bigger scissors than this would probably be much better, but these little sharp scissors I can usually do anything with these, but for some reason they are blunt today. So basically, when you want to attach your different lengths of fabric together, all you need to do is fold over the edge, make a little snip like this, so it puts a little hole in, and then again just slightly further along that section. And then do this with the other bit of material, and then fold one end through one end and the other end of the other bit of material through the other hole. You could always rewind this and watch it again. Actually, I've done this for quite a few pieces, but then I ended up just tying them on the other side because it was just a bit quicker. But I quite like this idea. I suppose it might sometimes be a bit neater doing it like this. So the first bit's the fiddliest bit because sometimes when you're right in the center, it's hard to see which one you're going to go over, which one you're going to go under. So I tied a little knot, just a double knot, and then just slid that down to the center, and then just carefully weave the fabric in and out, going round and round and round. I probably went round about 6 times before I felt like there was enough. So the more you kind of build on this, the kind of string ends up more in place, so it's easier to go in and out. And what you might want to do is kind of lie this down, and then you can just put your fabric in and out the larger gaps here, and then every now and again stop and just tighten it up. So I really wanted this center area to be quite tight, just because I didn't want to see the bits of string in the middle, and it really worked. You couldn't actually see the string when I was finished. So next I attached some balloon material and done exactly the same, going round and round. And then now it's starting to kind of look, this is the underside, and just like I said before, what I ended up doing really was just tying them together to link on the next bit of material. It was just a bit quicker, and I don't mind the knots being on one side. I think it looks quite nice actually. So this is the underside. And then finally I put around yellow. I finished off with the yellow colour. But I really felt like I wanted to put a different type of material around the edge. So I've got this gorgeous grey yarn that I've used in quite a few DIYs, and I really felt like I wanted to end with this grey next to the yellow. So I've wove some round and tied it, but it just didn't look thick enough, so I've actually plaited the length of it and then wove that in and out. So because I made the end sections on this with the fabric, the last kind of like the yellow and the grey in particular are quite soft and squidgy materials. And the idea was hopefully that the edges would curl up once I cut the strings and I'd have a nice little basket, and it worked. It worked quite well, as I'll show you in a second. So before we get to that bit, I tied the plait together so that was nice and secure, and then one by one I cut the pieces of string off the hula hoop, and then I tied the pieces of string back over on themselves. I just kind of put my finger into the material and found where they were in the inside, and then just tied them across. Getting a bit ahead of myself here. This is me showing you how good it looks. I think for my first attempt this is really good. These are scraps of material. I definitely seriously I'm going to make a rug for the family bathroom, but I'm going to use a big hula hoop, and I'm going to do either nautical colours, because I seem to have a lot of colours, old t-shirts and those types of colours, or I might do green, white and kind of natural. So it's kind of made us feel like, yes, I definitely want to do that. So after I'd finished tying each piece of string, like I say, on the underside, just tying it into itself, just finding it in the material and then tying it in. I didn't tie it too tight because, like I say, I want this to kind of curl. After I'd uncut about 3 or 4 of these, it did actually start curling around the edge and kind of started looking like a little basket. My beautiful sister is just demonstrating what our basket looks like so far. She's so cute. I didn't think she was going to fit in here. I literally said, in here, and she jumped on my knee and jumped in there. She always does. Well, I don't know if it's just she always gets a treat afterwards. So she got to finish my tea in this instance. She is no bother, this little dog. She knows she's so intelligent. She knows when I've been working on something that it's really hard to explain. She kind of wants to be around it and be in the photos. So here we go. This is the basket so far. Now I felt like the edges were a little bit messy. The inside I was happy with, but the edges, there was bits of grey and bits of yellow popping out and bits of string. So I thought what I would do is just get some of my lovely chunky grey yarn and this did take a while. I didn't really have a plan. There is no pattern to this at all. I just sat and threaded it in and out, going all the way around the basket with the aim to kind of cover any bits of material, just so it looked mainly just the one colour around the edge, just grey. So I really wanted to hide the bits of white string you can see there. And like I say, I didn't have any kind of plan here. I just didn't pull each piece too tight. I just kind of left some kind of loopy loop designs and then kind of just made sure that the top section was nice and even. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of me speeded up doing this because, like I say, there's nothing else really I can say about it. I just sat and kind of weaved the grey material, the grey yarn in and out for like about 25 minutes. This is me going super fast. It's so nice outside. I can't believe the weather's finally changed. It's gone from really, really freezing cold to, well, really, really hot. As I'm recording this, it is Thursday the 19th, and apparently today is going to be one of the hottest days since a long, long time ago for this day in April anyway. So I think that's enough demonstrating how I made the edge of the basket look nice and chunky and grey. So once I was finished attaching the grey yarn around the edge of the basket, I then just tied a knot underneath, just somewhere where you couldn't see it. And then here is the final result, which I am quite happy with, but not quite finished with yet. I just feel quite creative today. I feel like I just want to add something else to it. So here we go. And this is what it looks like. So I've made these tiny little pom-poms. I've not made pom-poms since I was a kid. Really, I could not even remember how to do them at first, and then I've just kind of figured out a way. So I've just gone with fuchsia and the cream yarn, just because I felt like I didn't want to add the grey yarn because there's already enough grey going on. So I just kind of looped it around my hand a few times, not so many times with the thick yarn. But I'll show you in a minute with the thinner yarn. I'll loop it around a few more times. Just tie a knot in the middle, and then just use scissors to cut the loops, and then just trim the kind of pieces of pom-pom to size. So I made a few kind of traditional looking pom-poms. Excuse me, my chair is really squeaky. And then after that, I always like to make things different. I hate doing things the same all the time. So I've made these all slightly different. I've done like a little kind of tufted one there, cream one. And then I've done me fuchsia pink one. And then I've done this kind of spiky looking one. So for the next one, I just decided to do it quite a bit different. So I've just decided to go like cream then fuchsia. And I think it stands out quite nice against the grey. I didn't really have any yarn, any other colours, to be honest. So I just tied these on, just tied them into the side of the basket. So the next one I'm going to show you is just a fuchsia pink one that I made. So I just got my yarn, a wool, and cut a little piece off, which I'll use to tie it together. I've looped this around maybe about 10 times because, like I said, this is thinner, so I felt like I needed more of it. And then I just lay it over the little piece and then tied a double knot With this particular one, I didn't actually make this into a pom-pom. I ended up making this into more like a little tassel. So I snipped off all of the like looped edges. I tried to. My husband has blunted these scissors. I'm sure he was cutting a roller blind. In fact, he's done a couple lately, and that's all I can think of to how my cute little whiskers are now blunt. I'm sure you can buy a sharpener for them. In fact, I know you can, so I'm going to order that on Amazon as soon as I'm finished this video. So here we go. So I've cut all the edges, and then I've just used, well, I think what I was going to do here was use a piece of fuchsia pink wool to tie. Sorry, I'm a bit out of shot here. Anyway, I ended up using a piece of the grey yarn to tie around to make like a bit of a tassel. We used to make these at school, and I used to feel like they were like little octopuses. Although octopuses only have 8 legs. I don't know how I worked that one out. And then just trimmed off the big grey yarn. So I kind of feel like I want these to look a little bit like flowers, I suppose, because I've done each one different, and have been doing a few flower projects lately, and I thought this was yeah, I'm thinking flowers, spring. And then I just trimmed off the edges and just tied this on. And I've just done a couple of different variations. I tried to stick to the colours of fuchsia and grey and cream for my little kind of pom-pom and pom-pom type little ideas to go around the edge. So I went all the way around and just sewed on different things. Here's an idea what I done just to create like a something a bit different. So I wrapped the yarn round and round, and then I just tied some fuchsia pink around the middle, and then that's it. I really felt like that was enough, and that just looked like a different type of kind of flower. One thing this might be perfect for is somewhere for us to chuck our keys when we come in the house and we've locked the door, because we don't have anywhere for them. They end up lying all over the place. So this might just be the perfect spot to just chuck our keys, and it saves kind of damaging furniture. But for now, I've got a feeling my dog wants to have a little sniff at this. She loves it when I make something new. She always wants to be around it and fusses over it, kind of claims it for a while, and then yeah, she's so intelligent, this dog. She's unbelievable. So she just kind of wants to kind of use it as a bit of a pillow. So for now, it looks like we might have to find somewhere else for our keys. She's fast asleep. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you again on Friday. Goodbye for now.